Drugstore foundation review. I saw a lot of new items out and I wanted to try some of them. I had originally bought the L'Oreal Lumi True Match Cushion Foundation and I saw a lot of reviews for these cushion foundations, so I had to give it a shot. And then I also saw the Revlon Colorstay 2-in-1 compact for foundation and concealer. So although these are very different, I wanted to just give it a shot and show you guys how they apply differently and the coverage that they give you and just my overall opinion about them. I did half of my face with a sponge, half of my face with a makeup brush for each of them, so I did them completely different. And because this one brought the concealer, I decided to use the concealer in that part of this foundation. For this one I didn't use any concealer, so it's just a plain old foundation on my face. And I believe this is very similar to the original Lumi one, it's just in the compact. And this one is obviously just like the Colorstay one, but in the compact. So let's jump onto the review and the demonstrations and let's see how they work out. Also, if you want to find out my overall thoughts on both of them, you can stay towards the end and you can hear those. Alright, so we're going to start with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Buildable Luminous Foundation. And I have it in the color N3.5. And I actually went back for this. This is the only one between the two of them that I've already tried on my face. And I went back for a darker color because the colors, the only problems I have with both of these is that the colors are kind of weird in the containers. Like they look kind of dark and then they ended up being too light, so I don't even know what the other Revlon color is going to look like on my skin, but this one was a little too light, even though the actual sponge thing looks kind of dark. So for example, let me just show you before I start. So this is what the L'Oreal Lumi one looks like, and it looks pretty dark, and like I would say that that does not look like my skin color. Even if I put it here, I think it looks too dark. And even the one that I got in a lighter color, that was way too dark in the actual container, yet it went like super pale and pink on my skin. So that's one problem that I have with both of them. And I tried the other one, but I don't know what color it is. So let me just get started already and show you how it looks. So the L'Oreal Lumi one, it looks like this. It has a rose gold pink packaging here, and it has this compact that has a mirror and a little sponge for an applicator thing that it comes with. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it because I hate getting these things dirty. But it has a container to keep it in, and then if you open it, it's a very packaged, very like sealed container here. So it's just to keep it fresh and kind of wet in there because it is a sponge. It's going to hold in the product in there. So if you take this little paper thing off, which I normally keep in here because I don't want it to get dried up, and I don't want this part to get dirty either. You have pretty much like a pretty big sponge in there, and it's holding the product. So all these kind of cushion foundations that are going on right now, all the really big thing about them is that they're a sponge with foundation in them, and they kind of just stay in there. The good thing about them is that you can travel with them and you can take them with you and all that type of stuff. But other than that, I'm pretty sure it's similar to the regular Lumi foundation. So I'm going to start by applying to half of my face with a beauty blender lookalike from Real Techniques. I forgot what the name of it is called, but I'll put it down below. And I'm just going to put it in half of my face, and I'm also going to use the mirror on here because my mirror, like the setup in here is crazy. So I'm going to use this. So I'm just going to put my sponge in here and then grab some product. First thing I notice is that it's very light coverage foundation, and they never say that it's a full coverage foundation, but it is a buildable foundation according to them, which I can totally see that. Right now I'm just putting my second layer of it here, and it looks pretty good. I do have some acne here and there, so I just want you to let you guys know that I usually like medium to full coverage foundation. For every day, I kind of wear light coverage to be honest, but I don't mind this at all. The only problem that I see people would have with this foundation is that it is a luminous foundation, so if you have oily skin, I don't know if how much more luminous you would want your skin to look. I would say that I have a pretty oily skin, but lately it's been kind of like combination. So I'm just putting a few layers on this just because I feel like this is the best coverage that it's going to give me right now. So I'm just building it up. I think so far I put like more than 3 layers for sure. But I think that looks good, right? That looks pretty good. I'm putting it right here. Yeah, it's covered like what I want it to cover. So let's go on to half of the face with the brush. And for the other half of my face, I'm going to use the Expert Face Brush by Real Techniques as well. And I haven't used this brush for it. Like I said, I have tried this product. I've used another brush by Real Techniques, and I really didn't like it with that. So I'm using it today with this brush because this is pretty much my favorite foundation brush. And I figure I'm probably going to use this one more than the other one. But with the other one, it was like a stippling brush. And that one, it kind of left like streaks all over my face, which I really didn't like. I'm sorry if the light is a little too bright today. I'm using natural light for once. And it goes on very, very light, so I don't have any problem just building that up. It doesn't feel like I have a lot of product. The one thing I did notice, I did wear it yesterday, and I feel like it was a little too dark for me yesterday, but today I think it looks fairly good. I don't know how it's picking it up on camera right now, and I know the light is different compared to the camera one, but I think it looks good. It looks a little too orangey or yellowy on camera, but I think with like bronzers and everything else, I think it looks pretty good. So I think this is as far as I'm going to go with this foundation. It looks like it wears the same way with the sponge and the brush. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty even. It looks like it's covered some things. I think I had like a pimple down here, and it looks like it covered it for the most part. So it looks pretty good. It looks like it covered, but however, it is luminous. So I've been really tempted to put like some type of powder over it because I don't like this look of luminous. To me, it just kind of looks kind of oily. And the other problem I've had with it is that if you put like bronzer or blush, it kind of just like moves around a little bit. So if you don't like your bronzer moving after you apply it, then I would suggest putting some powder over it. So I would suggest this one would probably be better on drier skin because it would, if you actually blend it out, it would probably stay because your skin is so dry. So this would be very good and hydrating for a dry skin type of phase. Alright, so now we're going to try the Revlon Colorstay 2-in-1 Compact Makeup and Concealer. So what's special about this one, and I wanted to try it, is because obviously it has the foundation and the concealer. So it's just a compact like the other one, and when you open it up, you can see that the first layer on the top is concealer, because this part right here races up, and then you have your foundation in there. So if I raise it up, I have this in here, and then if I raise this part up, I should have a little sponge in here, which I do, but it's somewhere in there. So in the other one, I didn't use a concealer, but for this one, because it already has a concealer in here, I obviously want to test it out for you guys, and I'll use it on camera. Again, the color in this one is a little weird. I feel like now that I'm looking at it, it's going to be a little too pale for me. But I don't really mind foundations being a little bit light for me because normally I bronze it up a lot. I put colors, and then I actually like the other part that's seeping through, like the color for the foundation, to be a little bit lighter. That way it kind of like highlights my face. So we'll try it out. We'll see how bright it is and light it is, but let's go for it. So we're going to do the same thing that we did in the other round. We're going to have half of the face with a sponge and half of the face with a brush. So I'm going to start off with the little sponge, and I'm going to go in here and get some product. So like I said, it is a Colorstay line, so obviously it's going to be a little bit more full coverage than the other one. And automatically here I see that this is way too light for me. Like I said, these colors are so weird, and you can never see what color it is based on the packaging. I'm definitely liking how it looks with the sponge so far. It goes on very smooth. I just came back to using these sponges, and it used to be one of my favorite ways of applying makeup, and I really like the fact that I'm using these now because I think I'm gonna go back to using sponges. Everything just goes on a lot smoother and a lot nicer. Wow, that's a lot lighter. I'm just spreading it down here. Yeah, you can definitely see the difference between the color that I'm putting on and the color that I have. Normally, if you're looking at foundation, you're looking for a color that's a little bit darker than your skin. So if I technically have it lighter than my skin, then that's not very good. I look like a clown. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to keep it on and we'll go for it. And I'll just let you know my opinion. I'm thinking of getting this one on a darker shade because I definitely like the consistency of this one. It goes on a lot more full coverage and it goes very, very good with the sponge. So now we're just going to try it with the brush. And again, it looks really nice. It goes on very nicely. I don't really like blend out brushes too much. I mean, a little bit here and there, like if I see that it's going a little bit too thick somewhere. But for the most part, this brush does a really good job at applying it. Oh my god, this is really bright. And let me know if you like these type of videos. I was thinking of doing a lot of these review videos, and I think it'll be fun and just like the whole experience all together, because obviously like foundations in general are so hard to like pick out. So just like the experience of somebody actually buying it for the first time and figuring out the color is kind of funny. I've seen other review videos for these type of products, and it's the same thing. Just it's kind of hard. I'm gonna apply some more up here. I really, really like this one, but it's too light for me, like I said. So right now, putting it on my forehead, obviously it's a little bit lighter, like I look like a clown, but it is a little bit lighter. But noticing now at my forehead, it doesn't go as even as it looked with the sponge. So far I'm liking the sponge application better on both of them. And now for the concealer, I'm just going to use this tiny brush that I have from also Real Techniques. No, it's just a coincidence that I'm using everything Real Techniques. I do have other brushes. So I'm just going to use this and just dab it on here and grab some on both sides. And then I'm just going to apply it. It doesn't really seem to be picking up a lot with this. I'm actually getting a lot of it on it, but I don't see much of a difference. But here we go. I think this one's better. I think I got a little bit too much. I don't think it would be that bad. It looks really, really bright on camera, but I don't think it's that bad because of what I said. So now I'm just going to blend it out with this flatter side of the sponge. So this is what the Colorstay one looks on after, and obviously if you can see my hands, see my neck, it's obviously a lot more pale than my skin, which is fine. I'll probably return it, but overall the foundation looks really, really good. I like how thick it is and it goes on really nicely. I'm thinking of probably doing a half and half comparison for the beginning of the video and the end, so you guys can see what I'm talking about in terms of comparing both of them. So overall, I think this one was really, really good. I like the packaging. I don't really think the concealer is necessary in there. It's already a really thick foundation as it is, so I think adding that concealer as well on top of it is not really necessary, to be honest. So, but overall, I give it a big thumbs up for this one. So as I mentioned in the video, I wanted to do half of my face with one foundation, half of my face with the other, even though obviously one of them was a little too light for me, but I did that. So I believe on this side of the face, I have the Colorstay one, the one that was a lot lighter, and on this half of my face, I have the Lumi one. So that one was supposed to be a little bit darker, and this one's supposed to be a little bit lighter. But like I said, if you put all the rest of the foundation, and I mean not foundation, but like the rest of your makeup on, obviously it's not that light. You can definitely work with either a light or a darker foundation overall, so that's not really a problem for me. I think I actually will stay with both of them, because as you can see that they work fine with both of the different shades. Overall, I have to say probably the Colorstay one was my favorite. I think the Lumi one goes a little bit too light on me and like light coverage, where this one is a little bit full coverage for me, and I like how it also applies with the sponge. And as you can see, I think I just fell in love with my sponge all over again. So I definitely like this one. In terms of the concealer that it comes with, I wasn't a big fan of it. In fact, I think it was creasy on me, so I had to put the Anastasia banana powder underneath my eyes on both sides. Which by the way, I used it on both of my eyes. So overall, I'm not a fan of the concealer. Maybe it's just because it's the winter and my skin is a little bit drier, but I didn't really like the concealer, but it's still there, and if I ever need a concealer that's a little bit lighter than what I need, then I can definitely try that one. So if you were thinking of picking up either of these, I would definitely just recommend going with your gut on that one in terms of what type of coverage you want. Either if you want a little bit lighter coverage, you can go for this one, or a little bit heavier coverage, you can go for this one. As I said, it's very similar to the original ones with the pumps for each of them. So overall, I think they were pretty good foundations, and I am pretty glad that I tried them, and now I have compacts of both of these, which I haven't had. I actually have them just sitting there in my drawers for a while, so it's a nice way of just like bringing them back and like trying them again. So I really like these, and I hope you guys give them a try. And if you like these type of review videos, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, so you don't miss any of these videos as well. And if you have any recommendations for other review videos that I should do, let me know. Have a good day, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. There we go, go.